Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, some pretty big news is coming out with Gfuel, and if you guys don't know what that is, that's actually even a brand I worked with forever ago, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago back in the day, and I feel like a lot of people in the whole esports, online entertainment, Twitch, YouTube, or whoever have actually had a chance to typically either work with them, either partially or through affiliate stuff, or at least knows one of their friends out there who have a chance to have worked with them before. And there's actually been a lot of drama coming out as of right this second for some really bad company, as well as also a lot of people getting fired now, people leaving their contracts, and just basically everything out there is just a huge, massive mess in regards to Gfuel. So we're going to talk about this, talk about the situation, and if you guys want to give your thoughts and comments as well down below, feel free to. I feel this would be kind of a somewhat intriguing video to go make too as well, just because we are in the gaming scene, and the gaming side definitely has a lot of folks that are working with them, or like I said, have worked with them in general. So throughout the entire video, feel free to give your thoughts and comments down below if you guys would like to, as I kind of give you guys all the details. So if you guys kind of missed it, basically we had a pretty big report come out over here in regards to Gfuel that actually now has fired multiple people on their partner, intelligent manager side, and managerial side, basically without warning, and basically this is all part of a restructuring for the company itself, quote unquote. But this actually turned to a part 2 where it came a day after a higher up in the company itself was basically using like really bad derogatory terms too as well in full team-wide calls. So showcasing and showcasing this on up over here so you guys have a chance to see with this tied on in. So with the report itself coming out, we're getting actually somewhat, I would say, pretty viral. As of right now, so you could also even see that Gfuel itself has, well, obviously been now trending too as well. And also, obviously, Drake's really bad album, apparently. So basically, Gfuel Energy has reported laid off a number of employees. So you guys can see some of these reports right here. So in regards to, hey, maybe like, you start like stop making fun of people over here. In regards to everyone making comments too as well from the CEO of Gfuel himself, where a lot of folks were actually making their initial tweets too on top of this. So you can see up in June 16th, June 15th, and I think they're just trying to do their best to go and do some like proper, like, I guess, team speak, team meetings or whatever publicly for everything out here when it comes to the Gfuel situation tied on in. But this has kind of been leading to a lot more of a bigger issue. So you guys can see over here from like Pokegame, like, I don't care if like you revoke my partnership, treat people like human beings. Today is my last day at Gfuel from Deathly. I've spent 3.5 years fighting for my amazing team and our creators that I've been so grateful to work alongside, actively seeking new opportunities, DMs open. Today was my last day at Gfuel. Appreciate all those I've had with the pleasure to manage and work with. Actively seeking work, DMs appreciated. Today is my last day at Gfuel, my dream job that I worked so hard at. A huge thanks to my amazing coworkers and partners that I've been so lucky to work with. Actively seeking work. Any assistance is appreciated. And this, of course, obviously has kind of led to a little bit more of a wide viral stance, because like I said, as of now, Gfuel has actually been trending up on Twitter all throughout the day itself. So you have people calling up being like, yeah, what about Gfuel when, Artesian builds, if you guys remember that story, where that was like people basically being like, hey, like, you don't deserve to go and win. You don't deserve to get your, what's it called? Like your actual winnings itself. And all that stuff is not cool. How can Gfuel even consider firing their influencer team, considering their work was the heart and soul of the company, which I would agree. Like a lot of folks right now, when it comes to Gfuel, it's all about, in all honesty, marketing. Like the product itself isn't necessarily, I don't want to say awful per se. I'm not really the biggest fan of caffeine or, like game companies, game studios or whatever. Selling this stuff to kids, it's not really the best. Like, especially too as well when it comes to like, you don't necessarily know what's in it. If you're like, say like, especially a lot of teenagers, kids in middle school, high school, you don't really need that much caffeine. And I always feel like that's a big thing. You have like for Monsters or Red Bulls or coffee. Like it is kind of bad to have like younger kids kind of hooked on that in the first place. But basically, like creators are the only reason anyone knew about their company and grew it to the size it is today. Without the work of that team, Gfuel wouldn't be what it is. And like a lot of folks out here are just all over the place. So we have like places like W Energy. And that's what's happening currently. If you're a Gfuel drinker who is currently looking for a new place to call home, our arms are wide open for you guys. We have a lot of people now being like, hey, I have made the decision to no longer be partnered with Gfuel. Thank you to everyone who supported me and used my code. We have also people over here too as well, like A-Drive, who's a bit more on top of the like Pokemon community itself, with a pretty strong statement as well. I'm very frustrated to hear that the reports of what took place at G Fuel regarding the harassment and filing of several key members of their partnership's team. As one of the largest G Fuel influencers with one of the top selling flavors, I feel embarrassed and betrayed. I'm feeling conflicted about continuing to promote a product I love after being informed that the people I work closest with at this company are being treated unprofessionally, to say the least. You strongly urge that G Fuel speaks out about those issues, addresses them, and ensures that their workplace culture is appropriate and fair for all their employees and partners. Do the right thing. I'm awaiting your replies. And of course, as well, I've had a lot of people also responding to a lot of these too, saying like, hey, I'm glad you spoke out. And some people being like, hey, don't be part of cancel culture too as well. And like, there's like a lot of stuff tied on in too. Like some people are saying like, this is unprofessional in the first place. Message your like managers first. But then some people are like, well, the big issue is that these managers were literally fired in the first place. You're like, you can kind of see how it's kind of going on both sides too as well. And like, with this, a lot of people, as we've mentioned before, have been basically trying their best to move on. Like we can kind of see like, Bob Wolf calling out stuff when it comes to like, the Keemstar partnership. I don't care. Like you guys can leave your thoughts and comments if you guys want to down below. Also, like someone like Jericho being like, hey guys, like, G Fuel's awful. Its owners are too, since I was one of their first partners in 2012. It's just trash. Stop promoting it. We've had a lot of other folks too as well, like just cold firing their team. They happen to build their brand without any warning. And I think a lot of this kind of did stem from what we've heard is when it came from HR, where it seemed like HR was like, hey, like there's been some pretty bad stuff ongoing. There's been some pretty bad things happening. Can we please have some help? Can we have some official statements, comments, or whatever on it? Which would make a lot of sense, at least in my opinion, mainly because, like it's not a good situation. It's not good to have like higher ups bring up this like, bad attention, bad comments, make their employees or partners feeling bad, like it's just not good. It's just not a good time to as well. And like this is why like some people are like, hey, the stuff that happened at G Fuel is an example as to why I'm hesitant on actually going professional working with talent partner management for a company. The industry is so volatile. We have like in light of recent events and news, I've contacted G Fuel and terminated my pending partnership paperwork. I politely told them to kiss my booty, and I want them to not be associated with a company that's still live with employees too as well. And like it's kind of like crazy. So yeah, now we have even like Cream. Like, yeah, we definitely aren't renewing that G Fuel contract ever. Everything I'm seeing, no way I want to be involved with them anymore. I'd find another company to give a bunch of Yetis their caffeine fix too as well. And like we're just seeing people everywhere. Like here's even Kurt itself. Had been a part with G Fuel for a while now, but officially sent in my request for immediate release. People are better than product. Sad day and hope those affected land on their feet very quickly too as well. People are saying like just go and drink water on top of that too. Like at least it has been kind of nice to go and see like everything over here of people supporting the members leaving, but it's also led to a lot of folks as well, I believe, talking and speaking about the fact that people are basically now even getting banned from the Twitch channel. Like the official G Fuel Twitch account being trying to like either call out the issue or be like, hey, we don't like this. Hey, this has not been a fun situation. Hey, this has not been like, good at the end of the day. So I'm just saying this has been kind of a big internet situation where it doesn't like, a lot of the stuff doesn't usually end up in a pretty good side, at least in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of seeing all these companies basically out here doing this. I'm not a big fan of companies, treating their employees or their partners or their content creators or their influencers, whatever you guys want to go call it, in such a poorly manner. And as well, on top of this too, it just kind of goes to show that there is definitely, they know they did something wrong, especially if they're banning folks, especially if they're instantaneously firing folks. Like, all of this put together, it just kind of goes to show that it just isn't a good situation for folks to be in. It isn't a good vibe for people to be in. And, like, man, my heart goes out to the folks and, like, the people who are now unemployed, or maybe someone who had this as a really big tie-in for their month-to-month, money. But, like, we keep on seeing a lot of people, like, here's Ron Poppy, being like, hey, too as well. They're not going to be resigning with G Fuel, on top of this too. So it's just been all over the way. We're seeing so many people canceling. We're seeing so many people leaving. We're seeing so many people trying their best to get their own stuff too as well. And, well, we'll kind of see, I guess, what the situation kind of leads towards after all this time, as people are like falling asleep, trying to get more information and going from there. So I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. I appreciate you guys all so much for chilling. Please make sure you guys, I guess, give your thoughts and comments down below too as well, in case you guys need anything. So I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch room down below, the Weeble and everything else down below. And I appreciate you guys all so much. Give me your thoughts as well down below.